Next, let's have Hannah and team for storytelling from stage. Everybody, let's cheer them up.
Hi everyone, this is Hannah Razak from grade 5 and today I'm here to narrate a beautiful story, The Happy Prince by Oscar Wilde. Long, long ago, there lived a prince who had everything he wanted. So, he was never sad. His people called him the Happy Prince. After the death of the prince, his statue was built and placed in the midst of the city. After being placed here as a statue, he could see the miseries faced by the poor and this made him cry. He was made of thin gold leaves. His eyes were pure sapphire. His sword hilt was having a red ruby. In the city, winters were very cold, so every winter swallows flew away to another city. So one day, a swallow was flying over the city. He fell asleep and he thought, why couldn't I sleep now? And he thought of sleeping under the feet of the prince. He said, oh, today I'm gonna have a royal sleep. I'm having a golden bed to sleep. What a fortune. And he was going to be asleep. And then a large drop of water fell into his eyes. He looked up and found that those were the tears of the prince. He asked, dear prince, why are you crying? Far away from here, replied the prince. I see a poor boy who is a baby. He's ill. His mother is a poor weaver. She has no money for buying medicines or food for him. Will you please take the ruby from my sword hilt and give it to the poor weaver? The swallow felt sorry, but he said, okay, dear prince. He took the ruby from the prince's sword hilt and flew to the poor weaver and gave him the ruby. She was surprised and thanked the swallow. And the swallow flew to the baby and said, get well soon, little boy. And after that, she returned to the prince. Then the swallow said, dear prince, now it's time for me to go. Bye-bye. The prince was crying and said, dear swallow, please stay one more night here. Please, please. The swallow felt sorry, but she said, okay, dear prince, I'll do whatever you say, but only for one more night. The prince said, I could see a poor writer. He has so many lines in his heart, but he's very weak to hold a pen. Will you please take my right eye, the sapphire, and give it to the poor writer? The swallow felt sorry, but she said, okay, dear prince, I'll say what you say. And she took the sapphire from the right eye of the prince and flew to the writer and gave him. The writer was amazed and thanked God. Thank God you helped me at last. Now I think I have many projects and I'll sell this and get good food. And then the swallow returned to the prince. And then the swallow said, Prince, now this is the last. I'm going. Please allow me to go. I want to go. I want to see my family, my friends, and everyone. Please let me go. But Prince said, dear swallow, just one more night. Just one more night. Please stay with me. Please. The swallow felt sorry, but she said, okay, Prince. And the prince said, dear swallow, will you please take my left eye and give it to a match girl who I'm seeing in the valley? She has been slipped by a stone and all her matchbox and matchsticks was thrown into the gutter. Her father will scold her if she return home without no money. she will get beat and scoldings from her father. Please, please, please take this right. Please take my left eye and give it to the match girl. The swallow felt sorry, but she said, "Okay, prince, this time is the last time which I'm gonna help you. Please, I wanna go and meet my friends and family, please." And then she took the left eye of the prince and flew to the little girl. She gave the girl the sapphire and said, "Dear girl, reach new heights. You can be anything you want. Reach new heights." And then she returned to the prince. And the swallow said, "Prince, now I will not go because now you're blind. I have to help you. I will serve people by giving you thin gold leaves." The prince said, "But swallow, it'll be hard for you. It's very cold here. You can go." But the swallow said, "No, prince, now you're blind. I'll help you serve the people." And every day the swallow took thin gold leaves to the prince and gave it to the poor people. And then one day it was very cold. The swallow sacrificed her life to the prince for helping the people. And seeing the governor saw old swallow was died under the feet of the happy prince. And then he looked up and found that the prince looked shabby. And the governor asked the people to throw the prince into down and fire him. They made him to down and fired him. And then the heart of the happy prince and the swallow's body was mixed together, and what they hoped became good. And they were same, and they were the both, and they were living happy together. Thank you.